Any questions on real versus nominal? As I say, the main thing is be consistent. So if you've got nominal cash flows, discount them at nominal discount rates. If you've got real cash flows, discount them at real. So those are our 4 rules. And what we're interested in is how do we apply them? We started out with our motivation example. And the question is, how do we take this data and figure out what the cash flows are so we can do our NPV calculation? And what we're going to do for these problems is to construct a cash flow table. So let's do that for the Pierpont company. And the plant it's considering. So we've got 5 years that we're interested in. The cost of the project is $1 million. Where do we record that? Date 0. That's minus $1 million now. And then we're going to get some income. What's the after-tax operating income? Well, that's going to be the $375,000 minus the $100,000 in costs. And then what am I going to multiply that back by to get after tax? 1 minus tax, which here is 0.65. What date do I get that first? Where do I get that first? I don't get it now because we haven't started yet, so it's going to be at the end of the first year, which is date 1. So if we calculate that, we get 178,750, and we get that at date 1, and for how many years? 5 years. What else do we have to take into account if we're working in terms of after-tax net operating income? The first method was to do what? So add in the effective depreciation. Tax shield. We're doing it this way, we're going to add in what? We're just going to take the depreciation tax shield and add the cash that generates. When's it going to generate it first? Date 1, because that's the first time you get to depreciate. And how much is it going to be? You've got depreciation of $200,000. How much does that save you in taxes each year?
200 times 35%.
Yeah, 0.35 times 200,000, which is 70,000. You get that each year for 5 years. Normally, what else would there be? What would be the other cash flow that we need to take into account at the end? Selling off the plant. Here we've got 0 salvage value, so we don't have to worry about the salvage value. So what we get is that the NPV is minus $1 million, and then we've got 178,750 plus 70,000. We get those each year for 5 years. So what is it? An annuity. So we're going to multiply by an annuity factor for 5 years at 10% discount rate. If we calculate that, it's minus 57.42. So what should we do? Don't do it. It's positive net income, but it doesn't make enough money to compensate you for your opportunity cost of capital. Shareholders were better off just to take the $1 million and put it in the bank.
If we take the cash flow and put it into the calculators and I'm just asking to give us the answer, or wants to give us the answer, is that okay if we do it like that, or should we?
So what you should do in exams and problem sets is write the equivalent of this. You don't need to write the formula, you just need to write times AF with the two numbers you've input to the calculator, similarly with discount factors. The basic aim when you're doing problems or exams is, what did you do? Can we recreate where you got to in the problem and where your mistake was? Give us the minimum that allows us to do that so we can give you partial credit. Other questions on that? Now the second way to do things, if we didn't do it by TC times depreciation, was to do what? Method 2 was, what do accountants usually do? You don't pay it to anybody, so they say add it back. So if we add back the depreciation, what are we going to do here? Well, we're going to have a depreciation of 200,000. So we're going to get 248,750. So our NPV is going to be minus $1 million plus 248,750 times an annuity factor for 5 years at 10%. Of course, that's the same as what we had in this calculation. This is the 178,750 plus 70. That's just our 248,750. So we're going to get the same answer. So it doesn't matter which way you do it, and you will see that there are some questions where it's easier to do it this way with TC times the depreciation. There are others where it's easier to do it the accounting way and just add back the depreciation.
One question.
Yes, question please.
If I would have calculated the EVA, the EVA of this, I would have given me the answer, right? The same answer, no?
So EVA is economic value added, and this is a way that Stern Stewart has come up with to try and take account of some of these things. So the book has a whole section on this, but if you calculate things right, then it does correspond to NPV. But you have to be careful how you apply it. Other questions? Okay, have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Tuesday.